Starting with the hay.
Podcast!
Fuck, that was loud.
I know. So, we're going to talk about some police encounters.
Yeah, I got pulled over last week.
Yeah, how was that?
I actually almost had a seizure again. I was like, my legs are twitching, and I'm like, stop that, please.
What? Okay, give me a base run step by step.
A step by step. I got fucking pulled over. I was coming home from
speeding?
No, I was coming home from the library. My headlights went out at the wrong time, and it's like 8 p.m. at night. Mm-hmm. So I should have had them on, but I didn't realize that they had gone off. That the light bulbs burnt out. And I didn't realize they were off because there's like that line of street lights down Main Street and you can see stuff all the time. Mm-hmm. So I didn't realize they were out until I got pulled over. And then I also got in trouble for driving with an expired license because, the state hasn't sent me my license, the hard copy of my license that I renewed back in September. And I got pulled over right outside Eastgate. So Alika and Brooke messaged me on Discord later. They're like, hey, was that dumb idiot who got pulled over in front of the gas station you? And I'm like, yeah. They're like, we could tell because they were blasting Nickelback from their car.
What did he tell you? Was he like... Did he come up to you? He's like, you know why I pulled you over today, man?
It's like, no, I was just pulling over to let you know that your headlights are out. And I'm like, wait, what? You liar. No, they're not.
He's like, yes, they are.
I didn't get a fine, though. I just got a warning.
Good.
Now I can take the warning for my license down to the post office and write it and be like, give me the hard copy of my license, you dumb fuckers.
So you know that it's at the post office, they're just not giving it to you?
Yeah, it's like the incident with the hoodie last year.
They're just refusing to give it to you, for whatever reason.
I found out withholding mail is a federal crime, and you can get something like a $10,000 fine and 5 years in prison. Mm-hmm. You're eating all the chicken.
My fucking chicken.
I fed you dinner 2 days ago.
No, so the very first day I had my license.
You got pulled over.
Yeah, I was driving. I was leaving the school and I got pulled over.
Mm-hmm.
The dude walks up to me and he's like, sir, do you have a license? I'm like, yeah, it's right here. He's like, you look a little too young to be driving. I'm like, look at my fucking license. I just handed it to you. He looks and he's like, okay. He hands my wallet back to me. I'm like, yeah, all right. I set it next to me. He's like, you have the vehicle registration? I hand it to him. He looks at it. I'm like, before you say anything, this is my grandma's car, because I don't have one yet.
Uh-huh.
So he's like, all right, I'm just making sure. I'm like, yeah, okay. Can I go now?
Did she have you on the insurance yet?
No.
Oh.
Because it was just that one day that I was driving my grandma's car. Because that was the day I went and took the test.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I go, when he lets me go, I go up to my grandma's. And I parked the vehicle there because she was out of town. So she said I could take her vehicle, just park it in the driveway, and then Mom will pick me up at her house. And Mom comes up, pulls up next to me. She's like, what'd you get pulled over for already? I'm like, I look too young, apparently.
No, the first day I got my license, I had the stupid fucking Prius. I think I took the test in my mom's van. And then it was like, okay, go to school. And I'm like, okay. And then I went to Safeway and got lunch, and then I went to school in the Prius.
In the Prius?
In the Prius.
And did it break down on you?
Mm-mm. There was one time I was 14, my mom let me drive her pickup while she was intoxicated. And we got pulled over.
Ooh.
At South Rec. No, the officer's just like, hey, what are you guys doing? Because it was kind of late. And she's just like, oh no, we're just taking this thing out for a cruise. It's a new truck. And he's like, okay, understandable. But he pulled us over and she's just like, quick, get in the passenger seat. And did the weird shimmy over to the driver's seat.
I've always thought about having to do that. Because
and then he's like, and she hands me the beer can. It's just like, what's your kid drinking? It's a Pepsi. And he's like, okay. And he didn't even check or anything. He just saw blue. He's like, okay, Pepsi, checks out. He left.
Quit Snapchatting me, people. I don't even know who that fucker is. He's just some kid from Louisiana or something. we just Snapchat. I don't know. He added me first.
I haven't gotten added by weird people on Snapchat.
Yeah, the time I did actually get a warning, though, was me and Tegan were coming home from going shooting. We were at a little public shooting range, and we were coming back, and I was looking over at Rock in the Glen, because we were looking at that collapsed part, where that guy crashed into or whatever.
Yeah.
And we were driving by, And I wasn't even past the fucking speed limit sign yet.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, Miss Pitsley, remember that fat bitch?
Yeah.
Or she was a skinny bitch, then she was a fat bitch. The
Mhm.
annoying one?
Yes.
The blonde one?
Yes.
Her husband drives by me, flips a U, and he's like, "You were speeding." I'm like, "Bitch, the sign's in front of me!"
Mm-hmm.
So I hand him my license registration. He comes back, he's like, "I'll give you a warning this time." I'm like, "Yeah, next time you pull me over before the sign, I'm gonna fucking report you."
Oh, snap.
But I think he recognized who I was, because I was kind of always a bitch to his wife, because his wife's a bitch.
Yeah, she is.
No, because like she'd always, whenever she's our sub, she'll just sit there and she'll chat on and on and on about her life stories and about how she's so fucking tough and like all this stuff. She'll yell at us to get to work. Then she'll go on and on and on. And then she'll be like, hey, you gotta look at me, I'm talking.
I don't know, I had her son in choir in like 8th grade, and we were sitting here, we were doing like one of those auditions for a solo for a song we had, and he's just like, and Huck's like, the thing I want for the song is I want somebody with like a lot of vibrato, and that's like when you hold a note and your voice just kind of naturally vibrates and it sounds nice. So he's just like, Huck, can I go to the bathroom? He's like, yeah, sure. And all of a sudden you hear this screaming from the boys' bathroom. Because, you know, the bathrooms are right next to the choir room. And we're all like, what was that? And apparently he was trying to practice. He was trying to practice his vibrato. And you could hear it was like maybe an actual note that we were singing for like 2 seconds. And then his voice cracked and it sounded like gremlins screaming. And it was the funniest shit ever.
You know that year where I was in choir, 7th grade, I think it was? We were singing, and Terrence stood next to me. And apparently he was locking his knees or something. He passed out. I thought he was just getting on his knees to grab something out of his bag. But as soon as he went to his knees, Mr. Huck, like, fucking teleports from the front of the room back to the back, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Did he ever tell you about that girl who, like, locked her knees on stage, supposedly, and she just fainted so perfectly and, like, even put, like, her hands under her head? It's like, yeah, it was faking. Surprisingly, I've done choir for, like, 8 years, and I've never seen somebody faint on stage.
I have. It was a concert.
Oh, wait, maybe I've seen it once or twice then.
Like a while ago. And, we were watching it. I don't remember who it was, but I think it was an 8th grader or whatever. They were standing, or it was when the high school came to do their thing. But somebody on the very end of the bleachers had their knees locked. Luckily, she fell to the left, or to her right, instead of off of the risers. But she fell, and Mr. Huck again, he just like, poof! I was like, how he moved that fast?
Secret Enderman. Oh no, my favorite thing about having choir with Mr. Huck is when he'd get mad at somebody on the other side of the section and aim a pencil at me. And he'd be like, my aim's gonna be really terrible, so I'm gonna aim for Jack and it's gonna hit this person over here. And then he'd go like that and launch it across the room, and I'm like, okay.
How you just randomly throw things.
I
always thought, I was like, imagine if he throws something one of these days and it gets stuck in like a baritone.
Chicken. Already fucking ate it all?
You can add this to my eating compilation.
Jesus. Does that mean you're not going to stay for dinner?
Probably not.
You're like, no, I probably will. I like food.
Well, Mom's making tacos tonight, so...
I don't know what we're having. She made chicken Alfredo for like the 6th time this month.
For some reason now... You remember how we'd have pizza every Thursday for lunch? For some reason now it's always chicken fried steak on Wednesdays. But it's actually decent now.
No, the chicken fried steak was always decent, but it would always be like on a rotation, and you could kind of predict what you were having for lunch without looking at the menu. Because it was chicken fried steak was always on Wednesdays, but it was only always like once or twice a month.
But the pizza got annoying. Especially when it started out good, but then they started burning it more and more each time. And
then they stopped doing like the good triangle pizza and gave us back the shitty square pizza. Which is only good if you dip it in ranch, and then they won't give you fucking ranch to dip it in. It's like, what am I supposed to do with this?
One of those shit that was really good, those chicken drumsticks that they would serve us every once in a while. The fried chicken drumsticks.
With the mashed potatoes.
That shit was good. it was, we had,
Am I the only one who likes, like, getting the bread rolls at lunch and, like, picking it apart and pretending like I'm a peasant in, like, 14th century England who just got his rations for the day?
Yeah, you're the only one who does that.
Okay.
No, it was, chicken nuggets. The better chicken nuggets.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that are, like, kind of crispy and taste good.
Mm-hmm.
And, it was after lunch. I had study hall 6th and 7th period, which was fucking bullshit. I still have that. But I'm sitting there.
You should get it at the end of the day and just leave early.
But then, like, that's what I'm thinking about doing Friday, because Angel doesn't think she's going to come to school Friday and you have off, you know?
Yeah.
So, since we're taking Thursday off for fucking state wrestling, I think it is, and then going Friday, I was thinking about just leaving early.
Which is why we have Friday off, because it's state wrestling, so I don't know why you guys have Thursday off and then they want you back at school Friday when state wrestling is still going on.
I don't know. But no, because I was thinking, like, okay, well, if Angel doesn't come to school, like, she doesn't think she's going to, I'll just leave 6th period, and then we can go film some videos or whatever, because you said your grandma shouldn't be home.
No, she's going to get her other COVID shot.
Alright, so, I might do that. And then, no, but anyway, fuck, what were we talking about? We were talking about food. No, so anyway, I'm sitting in study hall. I'm laying there. I'm fucking dead ass asleep. And you know how the seniors who do the lunch thing, they can take all the leftovers and whatever? Andrick walks up to me with one of those big cardboard boat things full of chicken nuggets. He taps my shoulder. He's like, "You want some chicken nuggets?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah!" I take it. I'm like, "Thanks, Andrick." Andrick's really, really talkative this year.
That's surprising.
And it's weird. He even, when we had our back to our homecoming parade thing over there, the bonfire or whatever.
Yeah.
He's the one who picked up the mic and he was announcing things, and I'm over here like,
did I show up to that?
I don't know. Maybe to pick your brother up.
Oh yeah, I did do it to pick my brother up, because that's when I put the vodka in my Monster and I walked up and Collier's like, "What you got?" And I'm like, "A Monster." What? What were we talking about?
You said Collier asked you about your spiked
Monster, and I'm just like, "It's an energy drink, dude." And he's like, "Ah, okay, understandable. Have a nice day," and just walks away.
But no, Andrick's standing up there announcing things. I turn, and my mother's standing next to me because she was there to pick up Kyrie. I turn, I look at her, I'm like, this is the most I've ever heard Andrick talk in my life.
We've known him for, like, what, 12 years?
And we've heard, what, a total of, like, 20 words out of him? Even though me, him, and Travis hang out all the time in elementary school, he, like, never said a word. He's always been the quiet.
There was one time, it was like, we started 3rd grade, and I was hanging out with Travis all summer, and the first thing that happens is, for some reason, you guys come up and start asking me about penises, and I was like, what?
And we made fun of the way you wrote your name, because your B looked like an M.
Mecca.
We did that too, didn't we? We're like, Mecca.
Yep.
And you're just kind of like, stop bullying me.
Did I tell you I have a gay circle in choir now?
Yeah.
Yeah. They stopped dead naming me, so now all of a sudden, they're just like, "Jack, come over here!" They're yelling from their other sections, and then Gifford's like, "Who are you talking about?" And he just, like, gets up and looks around, and he doesn't notice that who's responding to the name. It's like, what are you guys doing?
So, funny thing. Tegan, and this is the reason I took it out, Tegan found the cigarette lighter thing in here when I first got the truck. He put it in the thing, and he pushes it in. We're at the dump. And we're getting rid of trees because that big tree fell in our yard. And it pops back out. He takes it out. He looks at it. He looks at me. He's like, "This doesn't look hot." I'm like, "Trust me, it's hot." And he does that. He looks directly into it, and he goes, pulls his finger out slowly, then tosses it. And I'm like, "What the fuck?" And he's looking at his finger. It's all blistered and fucking. So I turn my air conditioner on full blast. I'm like, "Stick your finger in the thing till we get home."
Yeah. Oh no, I do that. I'm like, "Is this hot?" And I touch it. The thing is, I don't scream like a little bitch.
He didn't. He just, like,
threw it.
Then, like, jumped, and he's like, "It burned me." I'm like, "No shit."
See, I know it's gonna burn me, but it's like, touch it. Yep, hot. And then just pull hand away.
So then he was sitting here like this the whole time.
His finger in your AC.
His finger in the AC vent. We get home, and he's like, "Don't tell Mom." I'm like, "I'm gonna tell Mom." So then I took the cigarette lighter thing out, and I went and put it in the Cobalt, because Josh drives it all the time now. Yeah.
I still thought that was funny. Apparently, Brayden didn't tell Mom how he broke the table. And then you're like, it's not a good idea? Putting a can on a glass table and shooting it with a BB gun. Mom's just like, yeah, no, let's not do that. You already broke one of my tables. But you're just like, that's how the table got broken. And she's like, what? Who brought the gun over?
Brayden wouldn't let me take it away. I tried.
He also kept your Minecraft pickaxe for like a couple days.
Hopefully you enjoyed it. Because you're never going to see it again. I don't remember what class I was sitting in, but I was sitting there. No, it was last semester. Me, Wesley, and Brian were sitting in study hall in second period. Collier's second period class was watching a movie, and we were talking. We weren't paying attention to what the movie said. All of a sudden, we all shut up for like 2 seconds, and all we hear is, "Daddy, help me!" I look up. I'm like, "What?"
Daddy, help! I'm stuck in the washing machine.
No, apparently they were watching. I think it was a war movie. I look up. Brian looks at me. We give each other the wide eyes. We look over at Wesley. He's like, "You two are so dirty-minded."
Father W.
Oh no. Wesley's sleep schedule is bad when we're sitting in study hall and he looks up at us and he's like, "Fuck my sleep schedule." We both look at him and we're like, "You said what now?"
You said swear words?
No, he's just been losing his filter more and more throughout this year. I don't think he could go more than a paragraph without saying piece of shit or something.
Still better than my ability to swear. Kaylee made me watch a TikTok earlier, and it was like, swearing is bad and violent. If you say swear words, you should go to jail. And I'm like, well, fuck! And she just gave me that look like. When she got called out for it, Kylene is just like, Kaylee, you swear more than anybody I fucking know. And it's funny because she's supposed to be like the Catholic good girl.
It reminds me. And actually, I found the script because Rademacher was talking about our 7th period. We did a news script and we were doing, what was it, Little Red Riding Hood?
Little Red Riding Hood, but there was genetic mutation. I don't remember.
We were supposed to make a news anchor and we were supposed to alter these things. For some reason, I was Hagrid. My name was Rubius Hagrid. I have the script somewhere in my Chromebook. And we asked Miss Rademacher. She's like, yes, you can put a few swear words. That's fine. So we had a few swear words. All of a sudden, last minute, Avery's sitting on the computer typing really fast. She's like, we can't put these in here. They're so bad. And it's like, bitch, you don't even fucking say any. Because you were what? You were supposed to call somebody a bastard once.
Yeah, I think there was like the F word in there once and then bastard. Also, because I remember we were talking about the script and somebody said something about American Pie.
No, we weren't talking. I don't remember what we were talking about. Somebody said something about me, and then somebody said something about pie. She walks over, she's like, "No American Pie."
It's a good movie, though.
We're like, that's not what we were talking about, but okay.
And then I think we started talking about American Pie.
And then what was the other thing? When we were all sitting in class, Miss Rademacher gets at Jacob for being on his phone. And then she looks over at us, and we were talking and bullshitting, so she told us to pay attention. Gavin and Jake are over here playing cards in the corner. She looks up. Dustin and Andrick are talking and being annoying. All of a sudden, Jessica yells, "She wants to give him a blowjob!"
Oh no, I still remember that one time I had a sleepover at Joelle's, and she had never seen American Pie before, and I have all the movies, so I brought them over. Corruption.
What else was it? It was before we did the newscast thing. We were reading, what was it, War of the Worlds or whatever?
I think so.
And we had this activities packet. And we were supposed to draw a space shuttle crashing into Earth. And Jessica did not draw a space shuttle. And Miss Rademacher said this year, she's like, if I end up doing that packet again, I'm crossing that page out. Nobody is allowed to draw any space shuttles because of Jessica.
It's Jessica's fault.
She drew a dick.
I don't know, I remember doing those, and I remember she gave us coloring sheets for, like, the second half of the book. And it's like everybody zoned out and just did the coloring sheets, and she's just like, okay, guys, what happened? And we're all sitting here, like, blank-faced, like...
Oh, well, I don't know.
I don't know.
We're too busy coloring. Then all second semester, all the guys just stood over and played hacky sack for the last half an hour of class.
Mhm. I read so many books. She kept bringing me Stephen King books to read. She's like, "You like bodies, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And she just started dumping Stephen King books on my desk.
When you and Brian were sitting there and we were talking about ways to hide bodies,
Uh-huh.
and we were like, we're gonna get so questioned. Mr. Rademacher comes, sits down next to us, starts fucking joining in the conversation.
She gave me extra credit on that assignment I did about murder or something or other. I got like something like 50 points of extra credit.
Nice.
It was ridiculous.
What else was there? Yeah, basically in that class, all we would do. Ms. Rademacher brought it up today. She said something. She didn't remember if Brian was in her class or not. I was like, yeah, he was. She's like, you were? He's like, yeah. Me, Tristan, and Becca all just kind of sat in that little triangle and talked the whole time. And she's like, oh yeah, but you guys were quiet, so you were fine.
Yeah. You guys kept telling me to touch your master sword. And then you drew it on a sticky note and you're like, touch my master sword.
Yeah, I drew the master sword on a sticky note and I'm like, you want to touch my master sword?
And I think I used that as a bookmark for the rest of the year.
You did. But no, Ms. Rademacher got so pissed off at everybody else for talking, but because we were the quiet group in the corner, she just let it happen.
Well, still, anytime she separated us, we just have, like, the triangle of, like, mind connection. So anytime we would just be having a conversation in facial expressions.
We just give each other the looks, and then we knew exactly what we were talking about.
Uh-huh.
She only did that once, and that was when she had to put out the name tags for fucking... because of Dustin and Andrick and Gavin and Jake, I think it was.
Yeah.
And then... So she gave us the name tags, and she sat me across the room, Brian across the room, and then you over here.
Uh-huh.
And we were giving each other facial expressions, and Mr. Rademacher's like, you know what, you three can sit together. You're the quiet ones.
Yeah. I just read books 90% of the time. She never got on me about that either. I think she was the only teacher who wasn't like, time to put the book away and pay attention. She's just like, okay, you do your thing. You have an A in this class.
Yeah.
You're fine.
It's like, because we fucked around all the time, and we still had the good grades.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, most everybody did anyway, but they were just on her nerves a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what she had against Dustin, but she pile-drived him. She was honed in on him 90% of the
Still,
time,
what was that?
and I
It was
don't
like-
know why.
Maybe the first 22 volumes of Attack on Titan were out. I show up at school, they're all just stacked up on my desk in English.
Yeah.
She's like, what are you doing? Reading? And she's just like watching me to see how fast I get through the pile. And I hit maybe like volume 15 by the end of class. And she was like, what the hell?
And then she had us do, this year she had us research cryptids.
Uh-huh.
And we each had different things. I think I did a presentation on ghosts.
Ghosts.
And we were supposed to,
Ghost
we were supposed to do like 3-4 presentations a day. But instead, I did my presentation first, and the rest of the class, we were just talking about our ghost stories.
Ghosts.
And then I look up at the clock, I'm like, Mr. Rademacher, it's time to go. She's like, oh, we were supposed to do more today.
Oops.
Then the next day, nobody got through anything because there was the election day.
Uh-huh.
And so me, Hunter, Gavin, Preston, Dakota, and yeah, basically all the guys besides Brian in the class were gone. So the only ones in that class were Brian, Tavia, and Corden. Corden was sleeping on the couch.
That's so fitting.
And we got back at the end of first period.
I
like,
still remember
towards
when
breakfast.
it was like Deadpool, the first Deadpool movie came out when we were like in 8th grade, and Corden started signing all of his papers Mr. Pool. And the teachers just went with it. And everybody started calling him Mr. Pool. It was the
Remember in
greatest.
8th grade when I had everybody calling me Levi?
Yeah.
Because that was when we were first getting into Attack on Titan and everything. And we were like, okay, you're Aaron, I'm Levi, who's this, who's the... And then
I still don't know why I'm Aaron.
then at the beginning of the year, like, the teachers would pass out these get-to-know-you things, and they're like, one of the questions was always, what would you prefer to be called?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'd put Levi down, and I got away with it for 90% of the year. Then finally I'm like, okay, this is bullshit. You can just call me by my name again.
We're like, we don't know your name. You are Levi.
You are Levi. Not
Levi.
anymore. Not anymore.
You're like, no, I decided I'm Kenny.
No! I'm Kenny's son.
Lionel.
No, when you first said that to me, the first thing I thought was, I'm not an enemy off Breath of the Wild. And I'm like, oh, wait. Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
Because for some reason, my mind completely blanked what we were talking about. Then you said Lionel Ackerman, and I'm like, what? I'm like, oh, wait, never mind. Kruger.
Krugel.
No, what was it? Kruger Jaeger.
Yeah, and then I'm like, that sounds dumb. The last bit rhymes.
Krugel Jaeger.
Krugel.
Krugel Jaeger. So what was Grisha just like, I should name you after the owl. We're gonna name you Kruger. No, that sounds weird. Krugel.
No, I feel like he's just like, we'll name him Kruger, and Carla's like, no! You already named the other one something weird. Okay, Krugel? Fuck.
At least you don't have as weird a name as Armin.
I feel like I had like a normal name, like Dave or something, but my dad was so hell-bent on my name being Krugel, and it just like took up. We're sitting here, we're doing schoolwork, and my mom's just like, okay, what's your name, honey? Krugel! No! Your name's Dave! Krugel!
Just because Grisha was hell-bent on the name
Yeah.
Krugel.
She goes down to like the military office the next day. She's just like, I need to change some family records. Why? I need to change my son's name. Why is your son's name wrong? He changed his own name.
How? Because of Grisha. Oh, okay.
They're like, all right, ma'am, sounds good. We're not going to question it.
What is it? Krugel.
They're like, excuse me, his name is what?
Krugel. They're like, but Dave is a normal name. No, he insists his name is Krugel.
Friends with like tiny little Armin, and he knocks on the door. Miss Yeager, can I play with Dave? Just be like, yeah, here, sure, let me call. Here, go up to his room. Dave, I'm here to play. There is no Dave.
There is no Dave, only Krugel. Hobbling around town with her and Mikasa and Armin.
Oh, apparently, and that elf chick.
Oh, yeah.
She's friends with us now.
Nobody has any clue what we're talking about.
Maybe we should edit this and I'll cut this part out.
Nah, people could just be confused as shit for a while.
We're nerds and we have Attack on Titan OCs. And Naruto OCs.
That's hence the channel name.
Yep.
So we're doing our senior slideshow thing, right?
Uh-huh.
And for my senior quote, I put subscribe to Willamy Squad.
Damn it, now I want my senior quote to be subscribe to Technoblade.
Subscribe to Technoblade. So you remember that 9/11 joke we made in freshman year? It was the white minivan, and all of a sudden it was a red convertible. Because the person falling out of the building.
No, I don't remember that. Oh, wait, yes, I get it now.
So, Brian's senior quote that he put on the thing is, I went to work with a white minivan, I left with a red convertible.
Isn't there a thing, like if they think your senior quote's inappropriate, they have a right to omit it?
Yeah, but I don't think anybody will understand it, because Mr. Rademacher didn't understand it.
Oh, God. I still haven't done one yet. Except I don't know if they're still accepting submissions for that, so I'll just wait till I get harassed about it.
No, but then they were doing the favorite song thing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And Brian put a link, and he said something about astronauts in the link. Then he's like, here's my song, you click on it, and it's never gonna give you up.
Put's favorite song is the L'Manberg National Anthem.
I put my song as my theme song. The War of Change.
War of Change. The summoning song.
I didn't know you were singing it.
I had it stuck in my head because we listened to it on the radio while we were cooking. And then I had it stuck in my head. I was helping Mom unload the dishwasher and I start humming it and all of a sudden you pop your head into the kitchen.
So you look at me, you're like, did I just fucking summon you?
And you're like, no?
I'm like, no, what? And then that second time I did hear you singing it, so I walk over and I'm like, did you summon me?
I don't know, maybe my song will be Pins and Needles by the Birthday Massacre.
Now I'm tempted to go back and change mine to the L'Manberg National Anthem.
Can you change yours?
Yeah.
Cool.
It's the slideshow. They don't have it. They're not gonna have anything submitted like officially till like March
Yeah.
or April. Usually they wait till the last minute.
Mhm.
You know how Glenrock High School works. They wait
Yeah.
till the last minute for everything.
No, I think we just get a senior quote. I don't think we get songs or anything.
No, we're just gonna be sitting there all of a sudden. It's gonna slowly fade into mine, and it's gonna be. I heard there was a special place where men can go to emancipate the brutality and tyranny of their rulers.
Well, this place is really neat and front with Wilbur, Tommy, Tubbo, fuck erect. It's a very
big and
not blown up man bird.
Mila man bird, Mila man bird, Mila man bird, Mila man bird. And that's gonna be stuck in your head. It does get stuck in your head very easily.
We did that again where it's like, what songs do we want to sing for our spring concert? And everybody's just like, Hallelujah! So Kaylee starts playing Hallelujah on her phone, and
You
I just...
started singing that, didn't
No,
you?
I just stood up and I'm like, Mila man bird! And I did the scout salute and everything, and everybody's like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
You're like, you don't listen to the man bird?
I'm like, I show up every day wearing Akatsuki rings and anime hoodies. What did you expect out of me?
Yeah, but now you're missing a Akatsuki ring.
It's only Kasami. It's not a huge deal.
It's only Kasami.
I still have Nagato.
When no Xander shows up at school, he's like, look what I got. And I'm like, okay.
Okay.
And then when you put the computer in my truck,
Mhm.
and he's like reading that note that you wrote him,
Uh-huh.
and he's like almost tearing up at lunch. I look down and I'm staring into his eyes, waiting for him to start bawling, and I'm like, you start crying, I'm fucking leaving.
You're so mean to him.
Because it was in the middle of lunch, and he was at a table where everybody could see him, and I'm like, if you start crying, I'm leaving.
Like, I'm leaving, changing my name and moving to Mexico.
Why Mexico?
I don't know. Do you think they'll let any Americans into Europe? No, they're fucking stupid.
Maybe Canada.
Wilbur, I found a woman for you.
Bad news, she's American.
American.
Bad news, she's American.
It's a man bird, my man bird.
Hey, look, it's my belt that I had all 8th grade year.
Your belt.
No, 8th grade and freshman year, remember?
Uh-huh.
Everybody got so pissed off at me for it, and I don't know why. It's just a fucking bungee cord. I'm gonna start wearing it again and start pissing you pieces of shit off again. I'm talking to you, Hunter.
Start wearing it again and go to school dressed in full scout uniform.
Bet. Oh, I actually put my scout jacket on again the other day. My arms are too big for it.
Can I have it then?
I put it on, and this is what it felt like on my arms. It was like that on my arms.
Like you were getting your blood pressure taken?
And then I go to pull it off, I'm like, oh fuck. I'm like, Tegan, pull this off of me.
It's too small for you, I'll take it.
I need a new one.
Yeah, get a new one and give me the old one.
I need to find what size that one was, and I need to order a bigger one.
Yeah. I ordered this in a medium, and I think it's too big for me.
I think my last one was a large, so maybe extra large, because China makes things super small for some reason.
No, it's because +1 biceps.
Because the Chinese are all small.
+1 biceps.
That too. I got wood.
You want some wood? I made a shelf.
I made kind of a shelf. I think it's still back here somewhere.
They're also kicking
You like
soda
my
cans.
ass, YouTube?
They can't see it. The dash is in the way.
Oh, fuck. It's a floating cable thing. It's kind of crooked because Brian's a dick.
What did he do again?
He pushed it and it bent.
Oh, isn't that when you tried to catch it with your bare hands?
Yeah.
Like a dumbass.
What else do I have? I have my stripper pants.
Why do you have stripper pants in the truck?
Because I was wearing them for something, and then I didn't need them, so I took them off.
You should go to school, wear them over your jeans, and be like, "Hey guys, you want me to take off my pants?" No, and then you rip them off.
I'm gonna do that on graduation. Wear them up on stage and be like,
"No, I thought you were gonna wear the Akatsuki robes on graduation."
I'll wear the Akatsuki robe. I'll take that off, and then I'll rip my stripper pants off.
No, you just open up the cloak, your cosplay Itachi underneath, and then rip off your pants. Be like, Itachi doesn't like pants. Even though the joke is that Kakashi doesn't like pants.
Yeah, that's everything that I have in here that's interesting, so... Shall we wrap up the podcast?
Probably we're at like 35 minutes.
Alright. So, you'll be seeing this Thursday. There should be a video coming up Saturday.
Yes.
And it's a different kind of... It's a different kind of video. One that you guys aren't used to.